This would not have been possible in 1995.
Hi, Melissa.
Hello.
After
Hello.
3 years of waiting.
Oh my God, more.
Maybe more.
More
yeah.
than 3 years,
Yeah.
yes.
How much? How many years?
Well, it's exactly 5 years since my first record came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've read that Out of Our Minds was already ready for 3 years. Or something like that?
It wasn't good enough yet, but
Not
yes,
good
I
enough.
could have maybe released a record a couple of years ago, but record companies broke and morphed and became old beasts. And then I then decided to go a little bit further into some of the concepts I had for this record, which is exploring a lot of my visual art roots, because before I played music, I was in fine art school my whole life, and when I joined Whole, I was in art school, and I was going to be a visual conceptual artist, but then music happened, and I spent 10 years making music nonstop. And then once things became different with the music industry and technology and all these things changed, and that has played a big part on what happened to this project and what happened to me as a woman trying to survive as a music maker, but as a artist who wants to grow. And as technology changed and industries changed, I changed, and my project is definitely a result of 5 years of one person starting with what I thought was a record and then coming out with a multimedia film, album, comic, but also it's informed the live possibilities, it's online, it's a project that is determined to be heard no matter what venue I am given. So if it's a film festival, or if it's an art gallery, or if it's a conversation, it's a very full, it's more than just a record, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And that's what happened in all those years, is all these changes, and the album became better because of it, because I would put the album aside in a hard drive for a year, I'd make this film, learn about being like a producer and a witch and all these things, and then go back to the record and improve it.
Yeah. So is there much relief now? It's finally in the...
So relieved, yes. I'm ready to go to sleep for 10 years. I've never worked so hard in my life, and I've also never felt as satisfied with having really worked every part of me. Here, here, here. I have drained every possible capability that I have in a good way. It was difficult because I was challenging myself in many ways that I haven't before, but the whole time I didn't know if I would ever be able to release it. I always knew that I could release it online. So maybe about a year or two ago I thought, I'll just put it out for free on the internet, which is not a bad idea, but I do come from an old-fashioned place in music where I really do want to go to Holland and speak to people directly, and I really do want to play a show in Holland, and if possible, if they ever play it on the radio, then maybe someone will hear it. So I have a problem, which is that I'm modern, independent, but I'm also old-fashioned, and I really want to connect with as many people as possible. So I spent an extra couple of years trying to figure out how I could do both and how I could have a really weird project that's experimental in many ways. It's experimental filmmaking, it's experimental concept, but it's still a 12-song rock album that if a straightforward music lover wants to just listen to a CD or download it for free, they can. And I guess they was trying to cover all of these things and try to reflect what I am, which is a lot of different things, and try to connect with a lot of different types of people. And one of the reasons I fell into music to begin with is so I can travel the world and speak to people. And so I thought, okay, if I do it in many different ways, I'll be guaranteed to connect with many different people.
Yeah, is this maybe also a new way to market music itself? Because you're aiming at a film audience, a music audience,
yeah,
and maybe
definitely.
also a reading audience.
I think that luckily for me, that my creative instincts ended up being good marketing instincts. But all marketing is, because I'm not a marketing genius, and I'm not a business genius, marketing is usually figuring out what do the people want. What do I want? I want to connect with people, and I love music and film and stories and visual arts and paintings, and I'm inspired by all these things in one. And so I wanted to, you know, without an idea of a marketing plan, was just an idea of how do I please all of these things. And with the 21st century and the way that people are consuming audio and visual all mixed in one cool new way, I think it's just a wave of the time, which is why I am the happiest I've ever been living in 2010, because now what I wanted, which is exploring all the things I love in one project, is possible. This would not have been possible in 1995.